with Toby Allenbach tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We're having a meeting at his house with them over the phone to discuss me becoming the next certified water operator in this area. I'm going to have to mentor under Jesus Hernandez. It's a 288-hour classwork, 4,000-hour apprenticeship. Anybody's ever had an apprenticeship before? I have with the union, Ironworkers Union. It's no joke. You got to work for it. And if you don't complete it, you've wasted your time. So I'm locked in to do this for 2 years. I hope the city will get behind me on doing this. I'm not doing this to attack anybody. I'm doing this to help our community. I'm not trying to be a know-it-all, but somebody freaking needs to be. Nobody knows the water system besides Eric. Where's Eric? Just saying. As a non-official member, that's my plan. Just to bring it to attention, anybody that wants to get behind me on that, talk to me later. Code of conduct. Is there a code of conduct for this council?
There should be.
I agree. Let's make one. Let's copy one. Let's steal one.
Does have a code of conduct.
Robert's rules of conduct is what we go by.
Okay.
Yeah, Robert's rules.
In those code of conduct, do the trustees get to talk to the employees in any way that we're hearing about tonight?
I apologize. Repeat that.
Okay.
Repeat that again.
In this code of conduct that you just mentioned, I have not read it, so I'm not familiar.
I think they were being sarcastic.
No,
I don't think he was. He might have been.
For all political
Okay.
offices, the Robert's rules.
All right, just any office. There's no office in the world you can't, that the stuff that goes on around here is tolerated. It's got to be stopped. The council members have to lead by example. I'm up here leading by example. I'm going to put my own money into this business. I'm willing to take on the water stuff. I'm even willing, if the city's willing to pay for it, I'll take the code enforcers class just so someone else besides Robbie knows it. In my opinion, whoever is in charge of that department, code enforcement, should also have this class. That's my opinion, though. I also think whoever's in charge of the water should maybe be studying that water operator's course. How can you lead if you don't know the job? You know, I don't know how to jump out of airplanes, so we won't be jumping out of airplanes behind me this week. I can't tell her how to jump out of an airplane because I don't actually know how to do it. So if she does it wrong, it's my fault. It's the same for office work, it's the same for water work, it's the same for everything, construction. So let's work on a code of conduct.
Jay, my answer to that is, I remember, it's been about 5 years ago, maybe 4, Sam Light from Sirsa, he came down and did a training like an hour or so before our meeting.
Those would be great.
And I think
not just for y'all.
With after the first year. His name's Sam. Is it Sam Light, Julie?
He's an attorney,
yeah.
I've had to take dozens of those classes to be in union. All kinds of stuff on what we can't do in the workplace, what we can. Everybody should be held to it. Everyone on this council, everyone that comes to these meetings, there should be a standard. All right, I'll move on. Evans, Colorado has an amazing website. It's called evanscolorado.gov. Please look at it. Their video is top-notch. All of this right here, every time there's a meeting, it's immediately posted to the website. It is on YouTube. It is amazingly easy to access. It ends any argument about what was said in here. There was miscommunication during the last visit, during our last meeting. Somebody misunderstood some things that I said, but the video doesn't lie. So we need to have that. Tony says this has already been approved. Let's enact it. That camera cost me $40. You can get a nice one for $100. Their website has the minutes. It has. Please just go look at it. Can we agree that we'll go look at it? evanscolorado.gov. Great site. Transparency. There is so much shadow work going on up here that it appears from the, and I'm zero accusations. No accusations, no accusations, no accusations, none. If you work in darkness, it's easy to make accusations and never prove it. Fraud is hard to disprove. It's hard to prove if you are good at it. There's enough rumor around this town that if you pay attention, you automatically assume there's fraud and embezzlement up here. I don't know if there is or not, but as an outside person looking at the details, it screams fraud. It does. I have figured out by talking to former employees this week how I personally could steal from this office as soon as you put me in here. I'm not a thief, so I'm not gonna, but it could be done today, and with the council members' help, it could be done that much better.
For
I can lay it out
over
for years
and over, and never
and
be
never
trackable
get
in the
caught.
book.
If I can do it, you can do it. I am not accusing anybody. I am saying there are loopholes that are wide open that we need to close. Not accusing you at all. I'm just saying that we need to fix this so no one can be accused. If we take care of the problem, it goes away. As an example, everybody gets a printed receipt. If they bring in money in the door, they go walking out with a printed receipt. I always get asked all the time, do you want a receipt? I always say no. It's just standard policy for transparency. Yes, it's a waste of a piece of paper. Print one for y'all, print one for the customer. Who's been to a fast food place that said $5, if you don't get a receipt, we owe you $5.
Can I
There-
explain
anybody-
why?
It's to keep, you've never seen these signs? It's bad. I travel the country constantly. This stuff's everywhere. What it does, would you explain how the fraud works?
I will. This is pretty much it. All right. Let's say I walk in to pay my water bill, and I say, and Julie, I'm just using you because you work in the office. My water bill is normally $80, but this month it says it's $100. So Julie says, okay, type, fixes it. But then let's say the next person walks in, and their water bill is also $20 over, but this person doesn't know it. So whoever's taking that money can very easily take their money, not give them a receipt, and then later correct that bill by $20 and remove that cash amount before that deposit's made. You will never find that in the books and the numbers because it's not there.
Everybody that comes in and pays a bill gets a receipt.
I'm just saying it could be
No, I
done.
want to speak this time.
Okay. You don't have to defend yourself. I am not accusing in the slightest. Everyone hear that. I am not accusing a single person of, I'm saying there is a potential for it. Potential meaning if there's a pile of oil on the ground and I see it and I walk through it and I fall, it's my fault.
Why
Because
don't you come up and sit in this office for a while? Why
I-
don't you
no,
come and
easy,
see how I
easy.
do things in this
No.
office?
I am not
No,
accusing you of a
you
thing.
need to understand the changes that I made, that I've been to implemented in this office. And I
Okay.
make sure everybody's aware of it.
Nobody.
These are things that are called
No, but if
transparency.
you want to change this stuff, come up and see what's been changed.
We
Before
can't.
you
I'm not
sit there and say,
attacking
oh,
you. I am not. I have been extremely clear that there are zero accusations. I am saying there is, if you left the office today and Chuck came into the office and replaced you, we need to make sure Chuck can't do this either. This has nothing to do with
that's
you.
why I put certain things in place.
This is simply transparency. Does anybody not understand I am making this point about transparency? Julie, you are not in trouble. I am not 1 second accusing
No,
you
but
of
I have been
anything.
accused for 2 weeks by Rami, by who?
Not by me.
You people making accusations
I
that
said
have
you
been
not-
checked the books.
They need to
Everything
be
is on
checked.
those books.
Calm down.
And have them.
Calm down. This is not about Julie. This is about transparency over the office. This is not about you.
Well, come be my supervisor.
Okay, so,
Somebody
alright,
alone.
please.
Let's, wow. Sorry.
I don't like it, and I'm not in a good mood.
I have a list of proposals that would help with transparency. Rather than go down this road tonight, I'm going to provide it in writing for Nate. Y'all do what you want with it. I'm not in charge of anything. But these things will help clear up the rumors so that no one gets accused, so that there is no question. None of it.
Somebody's being accused.
No, I just told you I figured out how I could do it. And if I can do it, any person in this office is capable. I am not accusing anyone. I don't even care. I'm not looking for theft. I'm saying there's a
Pointing out
window.
simple
And-
observations, I guess.
Just observations.
And just so it's said, some of that stuff I can pick out because it was my job, literally, for a decade to go to problem areas and high problem areas and find the leakage, to find the problem. I was literally trained to do so. I am not on a witch hunt. I'm not
No.
chasing after it, I'm saying there is money missing, and I wanna know where it is.
Then you guys need to do an audit, call Trista and do something,
That's
stop
on
playing
this list,
game.
Julie, that's on this
We
list,
asked for
calm
an
down.
audit.
Calm down, no one is absolutely being, I get last week, or last visit, I was on the offensive. I'm not today, because Eric's not here. Eric is next on my list. Julie is not on my list.
There's every nice thing in the meeting though.
No,
You're
I
getting
came
old.
with,
Have Trista come in.
well, that's a whole nother topic. I am all about problems and solutions. If I'm going to bring to you a problem and say, this looks wrong, I need to bring a solution, right? I'm just bringing solutions to problems that may not exist. But stop, please. We are not on bad terms. I am saying let's close loopholes. Does anyone else not understand what I am saying?
I can at least say from my knowledge that, hopefully our folks are on the good, so I have pretty good confidence. If
The
we
CERSA
sit
thing,
down, then we'll address
Joni
it.
agreed yesterday that if we brought it up, that she would vote for it.
Yeah.
I think everyone's interested in an audit. If y'all wanna vote for it, do it. If you don't want to, I'm not asking for an audit. I'm saying there are ways we can make sure that no one in the office pulls anything, not Julie, not at all, Chuck. Fucking, you put me in the office and I will follow these rules because these are standard practices. The receipts thing, it's because of the water bills. No one's
Yeah.
being blamed, but there's a lot of erroneous water bills. So we need to make it clear that the city is not manipulating the water bills. We need to make it clear that all of the money is going where it's supposed to. No one's being accused.
And I will say this, from the outside, from being in the office, most of this, the water bill issue is because we just switched over from Casell to this new program.
I've been here for 6
It's
years.
been
I've been in
going
this
on.
office a
Yeah.
dozen
Yeah, this
times.
has been going on.
Before this
But
program,
I
they didn't
understand that, but I'm
At
saying.
least twice a year.
I get what you're saying here, but right now, the error, a lot of stuff right now is
Completely reasonable.
more apparent right now because, like, it seems like mistakes are being made. They're not mistakes, it's a learning pattern going to Casell, and I'm not speaking about any of that others, of what you're trying to say. I'm just saying, right now, just also there needs to be understanding, we went from Casell to a new program.
I'm aware.
And we got people working.
Well, how do we have
trying to make
some
that happen,
people,
too.
how are some people's water bill affected but not
Why
others?
don't you talk to the
Well,
people that
hold
are
on, hold on.
feeding the meters?
That is a software issue.
I'm
I
asking-
can say for this month and last month, that is a reasonable explanation. What it doesn't explain is how this man found questionable things with numbers, 10 months ago?
At least that, but Mr. Roberts brought it to our.
Okay, well, he's not here, so I can't ask it.
Well, and I understand.
And that was on my list.
I will, explain. He, going over our meters, found that, our previous secretary had been adding our meters to our master so that we were, having to spend more resource water by double than what we should have to put back. And he also found, I believe 97 accounts had been altered.
That's
Dropping the
did-
zero.
Yeah.
Was that reported to anybody?
They were
Yes,
getting gas
it
and free
was
water.
immediately fixed, but it all
But who was it
happened-
reported to?
I reported it to Davina myself. 'cause
So it
I
never
asked
left the
for-
office?
Well, I asked for, like, my last
No, it
9
didn't.
months' bills, because one month I'd have 9,000 gallons, the next month I'd had 120.
You deserve, or Eric deserves, an applause if he found the fraud. Here's the thing, no one knows it happened, no one got punished for it, there's not a single that's a dead point.
And how do we have people
why
getting
doesn't-
zeros dropped off, and this man paid extra for a trash can for
For a
a
whole
year?
year.
That's
Yeah,
messed
that man
up.
deserves
He
credit.
deserves a credit if we
He
can
needs
afford to
his
drop
wa-
zeros off folks' water
know.
bill. I'm just gonna say.
I'm just trying to-
agree, but all of, I can't say all, but for sure the vast majority of those alterations come before any of us here that maybe
Yeah.
Tony.
I'm not saying that anything from here forward is fraudulent, I'm not. Some of it could be error, some of it could be an accident, some of it could be devices. I'm saying there are loopholes that cover up this type of stuff, that leave it open. Let's shine some light into these areas.
That was exactly what.
That's all. I'm not even asking for an investigation. I don't want to know who did what before today. from today forward, let's fix it.
It's
If everybody gets a receipt and there's a logbook, then
I
maybe.
even logged who pays
Okay,
tax.
hold on, let me, hear this out. Don't take this intact, hear this out. If there's a logbook that stays on the desk at the front desk, and everybody with a problem with the water bill gets logged in there, so we can start seeing if there's a trend. Plain and simple, so we know who's what, is there a consistency to it? It could be computer error. I write algorithms, I write C++. I know exactly how easy it is to screw up an algorithm. It could happen.
It's the reads. Everything on this computer is fine except for the reads that the guys brought in. They brought in the wrong reads in the very beginning.
I believe
and so
it.
instead of putting 25.4 gallons as a starting point on those meters, they could have said everybody used 251 gallons.
You're
Nobody
going in
brought
a
in
direction I'm not
decimal
going.
points. I'm just telling you,
It was
if
erroneous.
the reads are wrong,
Something went
the
wrong.
water bills are going to be wrong.
Okay, that's okay if they're wrong, but we need to get a clear understanding publicly and transparently what's going on. If
And
somebody
I-
screwed up, fine. If nobody screwed up and a computer did it, fine. But because there's such a shadow over it, and because, as an example, you get so upset when I bring it up,
No, if you want to come in, I want you to, I ask you, I invite you, come in and let me show you. Let me show you
I'm doing
what
this
I'm
on a
doing
public
there.
forum for a reason. I don't have a single problem with you, Julie.
I know, but I want you to know and have faith in me that I'm not screwing this town. Come in, I'll show you.
What about the
to
next
hide.
person behind you? What about the helper we hire?
Well,
Who's to say they don't steal?
They're not giving a lot of.
I don't have any faith in who we're
hiring.
hiring. You know? I mean, we go through so many people. We don't have, I personally have hired like a dozen people out of this town. I got 2 good ones. The rest were problematic. You don't have to tell me. And none of this is based at you, Julie. It's the job. It's the transparency. I've gone way off track now. I'll provide you a list of things that I think would help. It's not pointed at anybody. It's things that puts light on shadows. It's things that close any outside, because I hear a lot of gossip, and I can tell you, I've shut a lot down. Several people in this town think you just spent $250 grand on that gate. I'm pretty sure it was 25,
We didn't spend any,
We didn't spend any.
but it was a grant for it.
Yeah, it
No,
was the
no,
historical.
for us.
Okay.
Heritage Foundation.
A dozen people in this town think that y'all got $250,000 to do that, and that it disappeared. Now, I corrected it. I bring the questions, I also bring answers. I have defended y'all to numerous people. Just to be clear. So that's the fraud prevention thing. There are things we can do that close up some of these gaps. There's also InfoSec. By accident, I asked Nate to bring me a flash drive. By accident, from the office, there was documents on this hard drive that I didn't need to have, and I told him take this back immediately. I didn't go through it. I saw it enough to know that this was a contaminated hard drive from the city. It's a little odd. It took me 2 seconds to know this, so it's not like I dug. The documents were 2008 to 2011. This flash drive, judging by the size of it, was manufactured 4 to 6 years ago. And Robert Petty's information was on it. I didn't read it, but I know he lives right over there, and he was the mayor. Why is that man's information on a flash drive right now in this office? Info security. The hard drive thing needs to be in the safe every time, every day, every night. Why? Because it can be manipulated.
It's
So,
a big now.
okay. It needs to be accounted for. Phone security. I'll talk to you about that. I'm not going to get you upset.
I'm open to anything that you have to do.
Yeah, I don't want you to feel attacked, so I will talk to you on the side. I don't want you to feel attacked, because that's not what I'm doing. Folks, I want to fix this. I want to help you fix it. I don't want to come up here every 2 weeks and waste an hour of your time, because y'all look bored as hell right now. You know, is anybody interested in any of this shit? If not, I don't blame you. I want to go home and smoke a blunt right now. Yeah, I don't want to do this. I want to focus on my center. You know, if y'all will work with me to fix a few things, I will go away. Give me some money, that wouldn't hurt. If you don't, I'll still go away. But these problems need to be addressed so that Julie is protected from everyone else, so that Robbie is protected from Eric, I won't go into Eric because he's not here to defend himself. I don't feel like attacking somebody that's not here. But when he's here, he's got hell to pay. Anybody got any questions for me? Anybody ready for me to shut up and go home? Hey man, I get it. Y'all look bored as hell. I did not want to listen to Robbie after about 20 minutes. But that's how this works.
Let's talk in this. Was there a contract there to test the lagoon?
I think he was, I'm not
When I had the
sure.
liquor store crowd.
Been trying to find
But then did he retire?
That was in
Quit doing it?
2015, I don't know what.
See, that,
I think these are my questions. I love that. I thought you were coming for
Hey, do you know if Jesus is certified for that steward? Do you know if he's got that?
I do not know. I will find that out tomorrow. I had to find out who he was today from Julie.
another thing I'd ask you to find out, if he isn't,
Yes.
find out who's doing Hardwick.
That's supposed to be him.
What's that?
Alright, repeat these again so I can write this down. What do we need to know?
Ask Jesus, if he is not,
Alright, who's
certified,
the-
ask who is. Who's
Certified for the lagoon?
Yeah.
Alright, so wastewater
Yes.
and
If he's not
Ordway.
certified for Ordway, I wanna know who's doing there.
I'm pretty sure I think Julie just told me he's the one doing Ordway. I knew someone from Ordway was doing it. Although I've never heard of Jesus Hernandez, so I assumed he was a 10-year-old employee that hadn't been removed from this information, because the beat is still on.
He's been with us for,
With the water?
many years.
Doing the town of Orwood for
Well-
about 20 years.
Okay. The Water Authority has DeVita on as the clerk, so I just assumed it was old information.
Well,
I'll
he's
correct
been
it
with
today.
us for quite some time.
Okay, fair enough. I am willing to do this.
Like I say, I don't know whether he has sewer certification.
I think he has a Class D. Thing is, everything's going to Class C now, which is why everyone's getting out of it. I learned all this week. Tobe's the one that pushed me into this.
My guess would be it might be somebody out of Rocky Ford.
Okay. Either way, to do this, I've got to have a mentor that's around here somewhere. Tobe may get set up as my mentor. We'll find out tomorrow. I'm not sure how much the city's got to be involved, but if y'all will back me, I'll do the 4,000 hours. You know, I'm going to live here till I die, apparently. So I might as well know how to run the water.
To do your water.
It takes a lot of
Sorry?
4,000 on the job training.
4,000 hours OJT as an apprentice.
Okay,
288 hours in class.
okay.
It's a lot of classes. And I'll do it. I like school. I don't mind. And maybe I can fix the water. It's horrid. You know,
We had a company that runs Fitness and Relay, and their RO filter, but
please, that $500,000 deal, that's another thing I meant to bring up.
No,
I understand there's a $500,000 grant for us to put in filters out here. Why did we not do this? Let's do
I've
this.
heard about it.
The water here is garbage. I don't even like showering in it, much less drinking it. Okay, so, any questions for me? All right.
Well,
See what you can find out for us, and then we'll ask you more.
I'm gonna jump into this. I'm gonna try to rope in as many people as will come. If Nate wants to come, Andre, anybody that's willing to show up for these classes and learn 10% of the class, show up. If y'all want my help, I'll know more tomorrow. All right, folks.
cool. Thank you, Jake. Let's go, Mark.
Sorry I didn't sign in, but I think you're still in open comment. Just quick question or statement. First of all, thank you for, even though it took over a year to get my trash can fixed, I appreciate you guys finally stepping up and taking care of it. I'm not necessarily willing to wait another year or more, since it took 4 or 5 years to fight to get a fence up. I understand that there have been issues, but it was my understanding when we agreed to have it taken down that it was going to be moved in about 5-6 feet. It wasn't until after it was totally taken down, sitting in my front lawn now, that, oh, well, it has to be 30 feet. And that's what state law is. I have yet to see the state law. Your attorney hasn't called me back. If that's not correct, then I was misled. And that fence needs to go back up. I'm fine if we want to work out an agreement that goes 5-6 feet in. I just need it there for personal feelings of protection. And I know it's not a full protection, but it does provide some barriers. Those dogs have been out at least 3 times, twice that Robin's been called, and I think addressed it. At some point, I want that fence to go back up. That was the agreement, and I shouldn't have to wait another year or whatever. It needs to go up before the ground becomes totally frozen and you're not able to get it in, because if I have to take legal action, I will, but I'm not stopping after I start legal action. Once I invest the money to talk to my attorneys, Riggs Mill Avenue, Turpin out of Denver, I can already tell you who they are, then go ahead and it's gonna be on, because I can show that I was misled.
Sure.
So that being said, either fix it, talk to me, let's work it out, let's figure out what's a fair distance. But if it's 30 feet, then it's 30 feet for everybody, because it's either a state law or it's not. You can't say, oh, the council didn't have the authority to approve that. Well, then you can't approve anybody's variance, or people just put fences up. I don't care if it's a foot, an inch, whatever, it's either 30 feet or it's not. If it's 30 feet, let's go through and start working on it.
The attorney said he's gonna look that statute up.
Yes, and it's been 2 weeks.
He hasn't got back to me, but he may have gotten back to the mayor.
It's been 2 weeks.
But,
You know, I'm
found an answer.
It's started in a while.
I actually didn't realize that you already touched base back to you. I'll reach out to him tomorrow. Well,
I found an answer on this that may work for everyone.
But I can tell you, state law says that fences include trees, they do include bushes, all that, that's there in state law. That's what state law says fence is. So if we're going to 30, there's plenty of things that need to come down. All I'm asking for is equality. I'm not trying to get you to take everybody's stuff down, or for Eric, even though he's the one I'm told that pushed the issue with me, to have to take his fence and put it in. But we need to be fair. And if it's truly 30 and it's for everybody's property, pretty much, unless you have an acre worth of fence, nobody should have a fence, because Robbie even says that includes the alleyways. So let's figure it out sooner rather than later, because once I take legal action, I'm not stopping. Thank you.
I have an answer for
Mr.
this.
Fuller.
That may be worth hearing.
Sir? Which street do you want, sir?
301 Idaho.
301 Idaho. And then,
And I've been told that the dogs in the neighborhood would be gone. I've been told that they're not supposed to have dogs. You had a court case that somebody lost all your court records, amazingly enough, and supposedly the judge said they're not even allowed to have dogs. Nothing's been enforced, but I have every legal right, according to Riggs Mill Avenue in Turpin out of Denver, Colorado. Mike Turpin, former state attorney general of the state of Oklahoma. I think he's a good law firm, to take care of it. I don't want to sue the town, because it's going to cost me money initially, and then it's going to cost you a buttload of money afterwards, because you're paying my lawyer fees and everything else. We could just come up to something equitable and fix it and get the fence back in.
Yeah, I tell you what I've researched this week. I looked into your problem. There is a way y'all can resolve this kind of painlessly. You do a moratorium on the enforcement of the ordinance while you do a study. That study can last 5 years. 5 years from now, no one cares, because you don't want to move your fence, Eric doesn't want to move his fence, he doesn't want to move his fence.
Well, my
Why
fence
don't
was
we just
I
make
was
this
misled and was
non-problem?
taken down.
see,
It
that's
needs to go back
what
up.
you're getting at. The council made a decision that a certain process would be done, and then when the fence was tore down,
Suddenly everything changed.
a council member really just railroaded through, throwing out ordinances and stuff. I
correct.
didn't actually see anything from Robert or Rick Thorpe on it. With
Can
our
we
building
correct it?
inspector would be honestly, at the end of for yeah, it would come down to them at the end of the day. So I will call Rick tomorrow.
But, I mean, if it's state law, I still have friends, I can enforce it on everybody. Or we can just be
Or we can
equitable
avoid
and fix
this
it.
and moratorium this thing for 5 years.
I'd like to just see the fence put up like the council agreed to.
Like you agreed to.
Exactly.
So,
I've not seen anything showing how far off the road anything's supposed to be, so why can't we just go measure what is already here and see what it is, and then put these things back at the same distance off of the road that every other fence is down the same road?
the second fence is a necessity, because those dogs climb fences, as when I had to fire a firearm in town to protect myself and my wife. And the sheriff's office doesn't do anything, that's why we have to have the double fence. And I would point out to you, they also took down the smaller fence, which was in between, and that's the one that saved the deaf man when he was attacked. He jumped that fence to get away. The fences have shown to be protective. And so we have to figure it out. If you're not gonna remove their dog, then please put my fence back up. We have no problems for that time that the second fence was up, secondary fence. They opened a can of worms, Eric opened a can of worms. Now he can live with the consequences. You wanna blame me? I'm just gonna tell everybody, Eric's the one that said it has to be 30 feet, and it's equal for everyone. Or let's fix it. I'd like a phone call within the next week, otherwise I'm gonna go and start legal action. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mark. Have a good evening, Mr. Clark.
Well, I do believe that we ought to check with the judge to see whether that they can't have a dog law.
He doesn't remember.
Rule will be enforced.
He didn't remember.
He doesn't remember.
And the paperwork is nowhere to be found.
Huh.
At that time, we didn't have a court recorder.
That's very convenient. But it's not convenient for me. Maybe it's on the stolen hard drive that maybe the sheriff will find, I don't know,
We
but.
already found it.
We found it. This is our town. Why don't we set our rules and set what we enforce?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. We measure what is already in town that has been here since there's been a town. And we make sure everybody is in compliance that is here by making that the offset. You know, we go around town, if everybody's 26 foot off of the center line, then that is what our offset is, and then that's where we put Mark's fence back. I
Well, then I would
don't see
like
why,
to make a motion.
because we can set our own zoning,
That's it.
we just need to
Let's
take
write our own
time
rules.
and go measure.
I move to make a motion to repeat that, please. But
Go
Set up a
around,
zoning
yes,
commission.
yes, we have to set a zoning commission before we are allowed to make any zoning ordinances. So,
Shall I
will you
expect
make
a
that
response
motion?
within a
I'll be
week?
happy.
yes.
Thank you, I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Will you move to make that motion, since you said that, I'll be happy.
So, you know, I would like to make a motion that we go ahead and set a zoning commission immediately so that we can go ahead and measure our offsets around town and set a ordinance for our town specifically.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to create a zoning committee to go around and reestablish the width on the road, and we have a second by Andre, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That's getting work done.
This isn't gonna affect my wall, is it?
Huh?
No, what we're saying is we're gonna go look at everybody's stuff and then make
Yeah.
adjustments for everybody.
I would like to go ahead and.
Fair.
We're trying to be equal.
No, I get that, I think they should.
You had dog problems too, so you
Well,
understand.
yeah, that's
You understand where-
exactly, yeah.
But I'm out thousands of dollars because their dogs are trapped, and they take nothing.
Sheriff is looking into the statute.
And of course, it's continue, it's distributed to the town court to allow it to happen.
Well, at the meantime,
Yeah.
right now, we can
There's a lot
set a
of
moratorium,
improvements
and
that
we
need to
can
be
make it,
made around
you
it.
can figure out what the best decision is based upon what the attorney has to say. But making an indecision right now is causing a safety issue for our constituents, and that's something right now that we would like to address.
I mean, really, I just still just wanna address this safety concern again, so, I guess, yeah, we'll go around, yeah, get measurements, I like it.
Anybody that already has a fence would be grandfathered in anyway, and we wouldn't be able to do anything about it if we did set it back. And, you know, it just so happens that Mark's got to took it down, or else it would be grandfathered in and he set an ordinance.
I would like that also to be communicated to the attorney as well, and kind of let him know what we just did here, to see if that is going to be able to do exactly what we're thinking about.
Do
right?
remember, as you're establishing fence lines, state statute says that trees and any other barriers such as bushes
Yeah.
count as a fence.
Shrubs,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanna.
Because there's several that are right on the road or close to it.
So we need at least 3 members, I believe.
Mr. Del Rio,
in order to have,
Okay,
I'll be on it, we got our store, we got Del Rio, definitely. Melinda, whatever her name is.
and if you need another
In the
one,
trailer,
I'll
about 2 blocks from where we live.
Alright, anything about?
The bushes
any
are
other
right
public
here,
comment
she has a
about-
beautiful hedge.
And
it's from
all
this
right,
part.
clerk report. Be as quick as you want.
Yeah, you can do this. What do you need?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they're down further.
No, they're above. Actually,
They're
approval of minutes.
supposed to be,
Everybody wants to, yeah, if everybody wants to shoot over the minutes for 11/17/21.
While they're reading those, Kim, do you guys have room down there for an air hockey table?
I will when I have a roof.
Well, somebody asked me if I wanted one the other day, and I was like, have you ever been to my house? Where would I put it?
I'll take it.
Okay, if they still have it, because they were trying to get it away a couple days ago.
Any
I'll ask
extra donations, they can either call me and I'll meet them at the building, or they can just drop it off in front.
Well, or you could probably even put it like in your apartment or something out of the way, out of the weather.
Okay,
I'll find out if they still have it.
okay.
'Cause they were trying to give it to me, and I'm like,
Because I think, the back of the building, I think
Uh-huh.
that's where I would like to put the shower and the washing machine, so that all the plumbing stays in the back. And then up towards the front, we could have some games and some vending and some thrift stuff, and a lot of the thrift stuff.
Tomorrow and see if they still have it. If they do, grab it.
Some of the thrift stuff is just to kind of offset the cost of the utilities to maintain the building and to run it. And I like thrift stores. Other people like thrift stores. And lots of people have junk, apparently.
So what happened to ours in Rocky Ford? Is it ever open?
It's only open on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Thursday.
I think it's Tuesdays and
Well,
Thursdays.
it used to be Friday, but I went over there on a Friday.
It hasn't been open on Saturdays at all.
Yeah, I saw
On
that.
Tuesday, it was open one day.
Okay.
I don't know if they're still open on Thursdays, but I know Facebook said it was open Tuesdays and Thursdays. But I went in on a Tuesday and they were open.
You went on a Tuesday and it was open?
Yeah, it was early though, real early. We were over there in that area. Do you guys happen to know if there's an impact fee in the city?
Familiarizing, because I don't know about that.
Okay. An impact fee is sometimes allotted for a business or a resident that is going to use more utilities than average. A lot of cities, like for something like this, it'll be waived. They'll waive the impact fee, or it'll be a preset amount that says that you guys are aware. They'll have higher water usage, of course. Bigger cities, it's a bigger deal. We may not even have one here because it's such a small area. My uncle, he does a lot of businesses in Florida, or he's my cousin actually. He told me to ask about an impact fee.
One for residential and the second one for commercial.
No impact fee? Okay. And so if there was, we could probably get that waived? Okay. Just so I can look at upcoming expenses, so I can see how far ahead am I really gonna go.
Hey, I got a quick concern.
Oh, yeah.
All Chelsea's lovely cats have now migrated to my house.
How many?
5 and 2 kittens.
How big are the cats?
Most of them came from the same litter. There's one adult cat that's probably 5 or 6 years old at least.
Okay.
The others are less than a year old.
Okay.
And then there's 2 little kittens that are probably just now about ready to be able
You
to
might
leave
get a
mom.
hold of Holly Christian, the county treasurer.
Mm-hmm.
I was just talking to her yesterday, and she was wanting to burn cats.
Oh, okay.
She won't take males, she'll just take females, but her daughter lives by Omaha.
There's only one female, but she's really sweet.
Get a hold of her.
Yeah, these cats find their way into my house, and they're taking over my yard, and it's just,
Doesn't know if Stacy is feeding her cats from my building.
Yeah,
We found half a dozen.
at least 10 paper plates full of cat food.
yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I am looking into is maybe creating, because we do have a cat right? And so if we were, and these cats are good at mousing.
Yeah.
They're great. That's why some of us have them in our house,
Yeah.
right? If we started capturing cats and maybe sending them off to another city that has a mouse problem, we might be able to have people pay us for these cats. Because they're mousers. I mean, I'm just trying to think of creative solutions
Right.
for our community. I don't know. That's
They would ship them to New
an
York.
idea to throw out there.
I do have a cat of my own, yes.
You do have a cat of your own?
I do, I have one cat. And the other one's decided, what the heck, we don't got a home over here anymore? This looks good.
It's because I kicked them out. I'm sorry, Jake.
It's okay. Hey, I'm just glad a bunch of them are already gone, because when I watched the video of the night of the fire, she came out of there with at least 20 cats.
She told me she'd had 20 cats. in
Yeah,
there.
at least 20 cats she came out of that house with.
There was 22 that we took to Amy that night.
Oh, wow.
22 kittens.
Wow.
The night of the fire, yeah.
You know, I bet you really John, so he wouldn't spray.
How long do we keep the recordings on the minutes, like the audio?
I haven't gotten rid of any of them. Keep them dry, I don't even know how to keep all of them.
Do we upload those to something?
No, but we do it to our website. That would be, but we have to keep them at least 3 years.
With, executive session, it's 90 days, you're supposed to clear your, I believe, am I right, Lou? 90 days on executive?
Those are different, a lot different.
I think it's 90 days on.
I set the. I would like to get one of those that actually puts it from the recording to the computer though, if you want me to do all this verbatim minutes.
What is that called?
I have no idea, but.
Or where it does the pocket type, Dragon Speed?
You plug it in, yeah, and it doesn't say.
Voice to type.
Or voice to type, Dragon Speed.
Voice to type.
I love that. I can talk all day, typing.
I know, but the only thing bad about that is you don't dare say anything else, you've got crap in there that you don't want.
Every time somebody walks
Oh,
by,
I have kids running around.
Or my cat knocks something over and I go, oh shit.
So the time that you just plug it to the computer?
Done that before. I thought that was my shortcut to do it slower. Didn't work.
Yeah, rereading it, proofreading it. Alright, I make a motion to approve, has everybody finished reading? You good? I make a motion to approve the minutes from, 11:17.
You have to actually finish the statement.
Can we go through this?
Seconding?
Yeah.
Tell me the real one.
I move to make a motion to approve the minutes for 11/17/2021.
second.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes for 11/17/2021, and we have a second by Perfecto. All in favor? Any opposed? With 2 abstaining, Steve, Eric, and Tom. Okay, motion carries.
Did you
So-
have some more stuff?
I'm assuming, I guess since Ronnie doesn't have to approve his, I didn't know about it, because Eric, Terry and I were putting in for vacation days ahead of time. Terry put in, he wants 20 hours, starting on the 27th of December. He wants 5 days. And I want December 20th and December 23rd.
16 hours. I make a motion to approve those.
I'll second that.
floor to approve the days off that are requested, by Julie and, Terry, and we have a second by Perfecto?
No, I second it,
Oh, you-
effectively.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I know, we have a motion by Perfecto to approve the requested, time by Julie and Joan, and a second by Joan. All in favor? Any opposed? With the absentees. So, motion passes.
Our, lawyer's sick, that's why he's not here today.
What's that?
The lawyer is sick, that's why he's not
Oh,
here
I
today.
couldn't understand what you're saying.
And,
Did you have COVID?
I did ask. But anyway, I think talking to him on the phone did too many good. The deadline for the bill levy is the 15th. He's asked me to pull out the ordinance from last year and send that to him. And then I got one from Holly today that I will also be sending to him. So hopefully we reschedule the workshop for the 8th at 6 o'clock.
8 to 6.
You're gonna.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so it
Have
could,
to.
provided
It
it's
has
not
to go
sick.
down.
Yeah, provided it's not sick. This other stuff, I would like you all to come in and speak with me, because I have paperwork, okay? I will not bring it up here, but I do have evidence against what was brought up. This week. So, we can get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
I did talk to a lawyer, and I was going to tell you guys this earlier, about hostile work environment. And I spoke to him yesterday, I told Kim and Terry, or Kim and Jay today, that I talked to him. It was Landers. I know they say I'm going after everybody, because everybody has not done it. But we do have a huge issue in this town, and a lot of different stuff going on that we really need to touch on. And so I try to be neutral, and I cannot. I mean, I have to talk to her when she comes in, I have to talk to him when he comes in, I have to talk to you. I'm supposed to be a neutral person. You guys all come to me. But you make it very, very hard. That's all I have to say.
Well, you did a wonderful job, Julie, in that office, so thank you for everything that you do. So, everything's
Can we meet with her on the 8th?
We have a few things that we need to handle and kind of come together off and on as council members over the next week.
I would like to see, a workshop maybe done in the weekday. I don't know what everybody.
Well, workshop indicates that it's open to a public.
You can't make decisions.
And we're handling in-house, well, we can make decisions on in-house personnel and stuff like that. We can do that.
Okay.
So over the next couple days, we're gonna start addressing that. The first one being the hard drive issue, so Julie can bring your stuff forward and clear yourself out.
And I do want to see the recording.
What's that?
Because I kind of got the feeling also that I was accused of giving a copy of the recording to Toby. Toby never came in this office. He has not been in this office. So if he was projecting that I gave something to Toby, that's a flat out lie.
Yeah,
And Toby looked at me, he knows who I am.
There's a few things. Something just kind of peeked on me earlier about somebody mentioned a video. Who showed Toby Allenbaugh the video of Eric and Robert getting into it? Nobody knows who just randomly pulled either private security footage from the town or a body camera and just openly started showing citizens and saying, look what we got going on. Nobody knows. I will ask Toby
Robbie and I
myself.
discussed that with Toby yesterday. He told Shirley it was not me, but I do not know who did.
But if he assumed that I did it because he said he came into this office and got it, is how it came across. And I don't, I haven't even
We'll
looked
clear that
up.
out. I don't see you actually openly just giving.
I haven't
video
even
stuff
looked
away.
up on the cameras. I don't really even give two craps. But I do want to see where I'm being accused of saying, no, that's not it, and him picking up the other one.
Do you have cameras in the office?
Yes, we have two, and they're both on me.
Then wouldn't that be on video as well? Whoever,
Unfortunately, there's no audio.
And,
Can we make this video public for everybody?
Toby has not come in. Toby's not a dishonest person.
well, here's the deal with Toby. All right, there were two statements made, and I'm just gonna lay it out there. All right, it was told in one statement that he's seen the video. And then, when he was confronted to his face about it, he said, I heard, which is a difference of one word. I seen this, I heard this. Either way, Toby was informed immediately after that scenario.
And I
know
was
this
here the whole
firsthand
day.
for a fact.
To put
So-
this out there, I'm the one who said this. I'm the one who heard or had this conversation with Toby
So tell
at
them
the
the
turkey
truth.
drive.
Put it out
We
there.
brought up Robbie. It wasn't about Julie. It was about Robbie, and he said that Robbie should be fired. I don't quite disagree with that, but the mitigating circumstances, he shouldn't be fired. But talking with Toby, I like Toby. I respect everything that man says most times. So he did say that. He said, I saw this video. I saw him shake his ass. So yesterday, after a long discussion with Joni about it, where I learned that apparently it had become a problem that I made this statement, I went back to Toby yesterday. And the word changed from I saw to I heard.
So it
One
came
word
out from
difference,
Joni to
completely
Toby.
different.
So the truth
So,
of that is,
The question
Joni
mark
told
stays.
Toby.
We
And
don't
now
know.
it's changed whether he saw the video or
Yeah.
she told him.
I
But that's what
said.
happened.
I don't think it was Jody either. I don't know who it was, but I'm saying.
I don't know that anybody
Alright,
saw the
so
video.
we're not gonna actually dive into that right now.
It was,
That
it
just
was
more
like,
from our personal-
I'm just trying to talk.
Okay, well, I just wanted to be clear that all this rumor came out because I was told that he saw it, and then when I confronted him after it was brought up by Joni, it was I heard.
And I'm not defending myself to you guys.
You ain't got to.
So again, I'm not trying to
But let
dive
me put
into
it out
the
there
specifics
that
of
there was a miscommunication by one person over one word. I heard it. I didn't miscommunicate.
I'll just simply ask the man myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat it out tomorrow. You
That's
come with
what
it.
I'm gonna do. I'll just ask myself, but thank
So,
you for.
to clear that up.
That's what I was saying. Find out because
Yep.
I've been accused of things. And I would like to investigate.
Right.
I can just go back on the cameras and do we know a date? Can somebody give me a date?
You have to ask him. The company has not been here forever. And the day that I was absent was,
I'm not thinking he actually saw it. I'm thinking he made a statement, not thinking that I was gonna repeat it, not really being specific, saw it, heard about it, you're not paying attention, you're telling some guy to turkey drive. It wasn't an investigation.
Either way, it shouldn't have came out of the office.
It shouldn't have.
and I was not.
And had it not been brought up to outside people like me, y'all wouldn't have heard about it. I would have come in here and acted a fool. If the liens had been on time, I get you have till the 15th.
This is another thing.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Well,
I don't do my
she's
taxes
not-
on April
She's
15th.
actually still in the middle of her clerk report, so.
Okay.
I gotta kinda let her.
Oh,
roll.
yeah, okay.
If we have a couple other things afterwards, we can catch up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm done with that, but this is a statement from Holly McClifford because I knew I was doing leave right.
Okay.
And she emailed that to me because I was accused of not doing my job. Jody was accused of not overseeing the office. Because leaves aren't being turned in, but the receipt aren't says only 30 days after.
We'll talk with Tobe about that too, because he's the one who says that.
McClifford is who I report to on leave. And I contacted her. And I said, will you please tell me, because if it's changed from when I worked for the town of Ordway to now, I would like to know that I'm doing something wrong so I can fix it. And that is what she emailed back to me for you guys.
It's not necessarily your job that is the issue in the office, it's the conduct of council members and employees in that office. That is the underlying thing. It's not job performance.
I'm a little concerned about performance.
That's one of our big issues, so you definitely bust your butt and do the right thing a long time, but unfortunately, we just have some
But I
bad
wanted
eggs
to
that get
clear
used.
up things, and when I'm accused of something, I will go to the people I need to go to prove that what I'm doing is right. If I don't know, I will find out.
Could that prove?
I don't file my taxes on April 15th.
I understand that it's
The
hard for you
liens,
guys.
you almost cost
But-
me $1,000 by
I
not doing that
understand that.
job in a timely manner.
But it does not
I
have
would've
to be
sued,
done, and as
and I
much as
would've-
I do in the office, there is so much going on, and I do have two people that I'm contacting, and who's gonna be available on Friday?
Friday, so we're setting up for an appointment on Friday, somebody please just be there so we can get some help for this woman in the office.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Friday.
Friday, what time?
This Friday.
6?
I don't care, if you're gonna pay the next one.
Okay, whatever time you
What
can
time
get
is
set
this,
up.
huh?
5?
5?
5.
This Friday?
If they can't make it, let me know, and then I'll reach out to a couple of you, even if it's just one or two of us. I believe we can confidently make a decision.
Friday at 5?
What are we doing?
I would like to come in and do payroll tomorrow, if you to leave.
Yep, you can go do your get check, yep, not a problem. Okay, did you have anything else? Nope, okay.
And you will be here Friday to get stuff.
Sanitation,
Quentin, I'm gonna go rework quick.
no sanitation thing tonight? Okay, code enforcement, I guess that's all update. Old business, not discussing generators, the trust building. Anybody here from Neighborhood Watch? No?
I'm watching.
It's still there. Christmas bonuses, I don't believe we can actually discuss that in open session.
Yeah, we can, because it's not a raise.
You're not talking about individual employees,
Right.
we're gonna have to make a motion.
I put it on the agenda, last year I believe we gave $200. As far as what we've kinda already discussed, we're looking at maybe just doing 300 this year for all employees, whether they be part-time or full-time.
Yep.
So I'd like to make a motion to give all of our town employees a $300 bonus this year.
Okay, I think you beat just by no.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, we have a motion under the Christmas bonuses subject to approve a bonus for all employees, full and part-time of $300, and a second by Gary. All in favor?
Aye, I'm sorry.
Right. Okay, Perfecto, you sustain? Abstain from that? Okay, and we have two absentees, Eric and Tom, so motion does carry.
When do you guys want these issues?
About a month after Christmas.
We're probably gonna do that, we spend the money for
Are you
Christmas,
gonna
so.
try to get them out for, on payroll tomorrow?
Yes, you
Now,
want
they'll
to.
have to be a
Get
separate
this
check, but I
I'll
would
make
like
sure
to
they
see
get
them get them tomorrow,
$300
so they can
tomorrow.
send it like
But they
Christmas.
can't
Yeah,
handle
I agree.
That's why I want
No,
to know.
absolutely.
Find time to do that.
No.
Santa Claus came.
I like that, thank you.
Alright, everybody wanna run through bills right quick?
What was Truman Lusk for?
Huh?
Truman Lusk?
He was there on his bill was there with his stuff, he paid on, his trash, and then he took it, so it was prorated. And
Oh,
that's what
okay.
his extra payment was, it's the same thing with Eric left, and he never got his money, and so he called today and reminded me, his
Oh,
bill is
okay.
also there, because they threw out all those out of, all those upstairs and everything out of four ways.
This home state security, is that a monthly charge, something that's, what was that for?
No, that's for coming out, and the bill's there with the check, it's for coming out and checking the system, when they came out, made a check, the thing with me, and they went through and checked
Oh,
the
okay.
system and everything, that's what that is.
Alrighty. And the Merchant Solutions, that's the, credit card machine? Merchant Solutions?
Yeah.
I used to always do those things. By the way, pretty purple shirt there, dude.
Yeah. Pretty bright.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $7,686.82.
Okay, we have a motion by Jones to approve the bills in the amount of $7,686.82, and a second by Andre. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Sustained? We got sustained. Perfecto, you have.
I'll go with it.
Okay, so, no opposed, but two absentees, Eric and Tom. Motion carries. I just have a random question. Why do we not have trustee comments on our minutes anymore? I know that was like last couple weeks.
Because
Alright.
this is an old one that I copied and pasted.
Perfecto?
I can't wait till our meeting, I guess, to discuss all the personnel issues.
Alright.
But, one thing I'm looking at payroll, hours overtime on the other crew that you get in. You look at that, maybe make it a little more fair, but 20 hours overtime is quite a bit. Anyway. Still making a point.
COVID. Yeah, 4 guys out sick. That's how you get
That was
overtime.
why I was so good.
No. Yeah, they were back when,
Okay, Roger was out for 2 weeks, and so was Eli.
they were back when the 19th of November. That's 2 weeks ago, right? And that's when you took over.
2 weeks ago. And they come back a week after that.
Right. They had 80 hours in there, but not no overtime.
Because it was their sick pay. And miscellaneous pay because they get paid for COVID, that was what everybody discussed.
I think they need to split the overtime a little bit more fair.
If they were
If
getting
they wasn't out with COVID, they probably would.
Oh, they were. They're
After
80 hours.
make them come to work.
Well, they got 10 hours on the second payroll.
Okay, anything else, Rick?
No. Just one of those two comparisons on that
Okay,
sheet.
alright, so I'm gonna start with this because I'm gonna start with this until, I am out of, until I'm out of office. So I'm gonna start with this and that, I move to make a motion. Well, first of all, I asked both the mayor and pro-mayor to bring in, search and CDI. This only because we're sitting around, we're coming back and this happens every 2 weeks. We're coming in and trying to answer these questions. And I don't think we have the resources necessary to answer the questions that happened before us. So, with that being said, I move to make a motion, to bring in SERSA and the CBI, to investigate, these, matters that are being discussed, in the last couple of town meetings. Also, to, look at, the finances. More so the audit, that we were under, so we don't have to, put that bill to have it redone ourselves. So if I can get a second on that, if not, I will bring this up again next time.
Joni, can we get that second?
Second.
Okay,
What issues? I mean, I'd like that.
Oh, the issue,
Specified, not.
the issues are looking at the finances, of the town, starting from the water transfer of the water rights, to Aurora until now. So that's really it.
What year was that done?
We could look it up from the date it was signed, but, that's a good point that's a good, point of starting.
alright, so this is how this works, just to kind of give you, for those who are still here who might not know this. I don't have a vote for a lead manager system. Alright, in that sense, you guys are pretty much the legislative branch of our local government. I sit on the judicial side of it, so if you want to bring stuff forward that you would like for me to take to the sheriff, we then have to take to the CBI. You kind of have to do it. You don't really need a motion. You just kind of have to get everything together. Be like, hey, this is what I got. This is what I'm looking at. This is who I want to reach out to. So really, all you got to do is just kind of bring it.
I think you have to have a motion for SERSA though, because.
Yes.
Well,
SERSA.
SERSA only does investigations if we're making a claim. After speaking with our guy up there a couple days ago regarding the hard drive thing, they would only come in if we were making a claim. So they would only be coming in to do any type of investigation or paying for an investigation based off of a claim.
Okay, that's a good variance of information.
Okay, so.
So all you gotta do is just throw it together with what I'm bringing to me. We can put things together if we have something enough that we all believe that somebody wanna look at. That's all we gotta do. We don't do anything.
What are your thoughts there, Gary?
You know, we need to get our books straightened up. If SERSA won't do it, then we've got to find somebody to go over them. I know all it has to be done. We've got to find somebody now.
Were we able to get a hold of that guy that the lawyer recommended?
That they cannot do it, and he said at the last meeting that he would provide me with names and email me, and I have not.
That other
received
place
it.
couldn't do it? Why?
They said they were over.
Oh, they
took
just
about 2
bid
months.
to do it.
Oh, Bill Trainer, do we have a contract with him?
Yes.
I would like,
He's home
I
now.
would like a
He's still
third,
not able to do it, I don't think.
I would like somebody, third party, that is not involved at all with
Thank you.
anything
Yes.
that has to do with this situation, because if we're going to be able to move forward in this, we have to have somebody who's gonna be non-biased, who doesn't know any of us, can look at the situation, not judgmental, so we can say for sure, hey, this is what it is, they don't have any beef against X, Y, and Z, and it is what it is, and the cards are on the table, we make our call, and then we can make a decision from that. I would like to see something like that happen, just because we're wasting a lot of energy pointing fingers at each other when we can get some real answers and move forward. I would like to see that.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm gonna move off of that first, real quick. So I wanna talk about building the town, because that's what I really like. Okay, so this is on the back of CML. I wanna read this out to you guys real quick. I won't take too much of your time here, but this is awesome. I'm gonna take this off. Okay, so guess what? Short-term rental industry statistics here in Colorado. Yo, we're number 2 behind the state of California. On average, people are making $32,000 a year renting out their property, okay, for short-term rentals, okay, and the average in the country is $24,000. So let's put this, I want to do this a number here, because I read this and I think this is great for our town here, because it says here, U.S. summer of 2021, the booking demand relative to 2019, it increased 62% in small cities and rural towns. That's an opportunity for us as a community. Okay, I myself personally have been getting my property ready to go for Airbnb or any of those opportunities. The only thing that's stopping me right now is the finances to get my permits in. And once I have those finances and I get my permits ready to go, I'm going to be ready to go. I'm going to have an art studio. I'm going to have craft studios. I know you guys are doing awesome stuff. And you might even have a couch. You might have a bedroom. That's all it takes for you to generate some extra income in your home. Here's the thing, though. The downside of this, let's talk about the downside of this stuff, okay, because I also want you guys to be aware of that real quick. One of the things that we also know, is that it will drive up our property values. With that also, it's going to drive up our property tax, okay? But if we're generating enough income, I feel like that can overbook it. But now, if we find that that is happening, okay, other towns, what they have done is they put a limit on short-term rentals. We could put a grandfather statement in as of starting right now. We're starting in everybody who's lived in this town, whose own property is beginning of any day before just the 12/31/2021, whatever that case may be. Okay, we can put a moratorium on there and say only those people can do it, and then we can put a cap on it, so not everybody in our town is just coming in there trying to buy our houses and then make them rental properties. We can protect ourselves from that. That's an idea, something I want us to kind of start thinking about. I want you as my community, my constituents, I want you to start thinking about that for yourself, for your home. What would $32,000 extra dollars do for your family? Because I know right now my family could use even extra $5,000 right now. That would be helpful, right? An extra $1,000 would be helpful right now. Matter of fact, you get my point. Okay. Second thing I want to bring up real quick is here, Black Hills Energy. I got this survey here and I filled it out about their performance here in our community, and I gave them a piss poor rating because I do not feel confident in Black Hills Energy. And one of the questions that they asked me here is their employee involvement in our community and civic affairs, communications with our local authorities, engagement in community economic development, performance as an environmentally responsibility company. And I thought about this and I was like, whoa, they're never here. They haven't talked to us. They haven't done anything for us. except for send us bills. Right? That gets me. So this is what I wrote in my survey, and this is something I think that we need to look at here. All right? So this is, I said, for a small town, I said we can provide enough electricity for our own community and enough energy for the surrounding towns with a solar system and a battery pack similar to what the Tesla Solar Company offers in other areas. I would like to see you guys make that move with us, and we are not paying a bill, but actually you guys are paying us because we have this valuable resource of sunlight that hits our town. We only have over 320 days of sunlight in our town. We should utilize that. So I'm going to be sending that in, and hopefully we can get some talk from them. Last but not least, I went to CSU on, the 19th, November 19th, 2021. Okay, in front of you guys here, I spoke with the Department of Chemical Engineering. I spoke with and the College of Civil and Environmental Engineering. First of all, I'm an alumni of Colorado State University. Graduated actually the winter of 2008 or 9, something like that. I have it on my degree. I forget. Whatever. Point is when I talked to Claire Lavelle, she is, I like to think of her as my college mom, but she said that if we would like a chemical engineer to look at our water or have it set up an internship or something like that, all we have to do is really write down a job description, what we are looking for as far as the chemical engineer is concerned, as far as water monitoring is concerned, if we want that. Now, we are far from that, okay? So, I had to then walk in. I left the College of Chemical and Biological Engineering, and then I walked into the College of Civil Engineering. So, and I had a wonderful conversation there. And so I was pointed to these 3 individuals, and I suggest that we have 2 routes that we can go. So I have Dr. Gates, Dr. Chavez, and Dr. Morrison. Dr. Chavez, what he is good at is wastewater. The wastewater system. We need to redo our whole wastewater system and make sure our pressure can flow all the way out from our water tower, all the way out throughout our whole town. This gentleman here, I think if we can write him a letter and stuff like that, have a conversation with him, invite him out here. Get him to see what we're dealing with here and maybe have a conversation on ways that we possibly can move forward. I think it's worth it just to have that, just invite him down, come down. Mr. Morrison, Dr. Ryan Morrison, he does environmental flows and he does riverscape modification. This gentleman is going to be the gentleman we want to talk to if we decide to go with the connect with the water system that's coming down US 50. If we're looking to do that, this gentleman is the guy who we want to talk to that can provide us graduate students or undergrad students who can get our canal flowing back through Main Street if we decide that. And then not only that, he can also develop different ways that we can have the canal not only go down Main Street, but branch off and go throughout Sugar City as well. So that's riverscape modification. How cool would that be if we could actually have a sustainable a sepia system like they do in San Luis, Colorado, where they use that to manage their crops and manage their flows. And then last, we got Dr. Gates here, and this gentleman here, just aquifer systems. All right, we're talking about monitoring our wells and making sure that our wells are properly. We're having all these questions on what's up with our pumps, what's up with our wells. This is the guy. This is the guy who does that for rural communities, cities. He teaches the kids. He prepares our engineers to do this. And so, with that being said, I highly encourage us to write just a letter to them, inviting them down to come to our town, to say, hey, these are some of the things that we have going on. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any advice for us? And, you know, and then we just open up the communication there. I think that would be a great, start to kind of get us to jump in. I mean, it's not something that we need to kind of, school, they're all preparing for winter break. As a matter of fact, this is finals week right now. So I'm guessing the new year would be a good time to approach them after they've gotten their students set up for their second semester. But once that happens, I believe that would be a great time to invite these individuals down to see our town to maybe ask for some guidance. That's my take on that, and that's my plan. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you, hold on to these two.
Yeah, I made copies. I got my originals here, and I'll be coming up with more and more stuff like this as we move forward.
Okay. John?
Okay, I just got a couple quick things. I'd like to see either Terry or Dave or one of you two, get the number off the street light there at Nebraska and Denver and turn it into the, Black Hills.
Alright.
They've been out supposedly to fix it twice, and we had to get off and on all night long.
We actually have one on
Sometimes it shuts off for
Montana.
an hour or two at night.
We actually have one on